Hello everyone. Let's start with the isometric view, problem number 2. So here you can see there are two figures given over here. Sometimes this name of the view is also not given. In that case, how to find which view is which one? Here only two views are given. We know very well that in first angle method, the view which is drawn below on the, or you can say on the lower portion, that view is known as a top view, and the view which is above the top view is the front view. So here you can easily find that this is the front view and this one is the top view. Now the next thing also, here in the question it is given that origin. Where is the origin? Location of origin in this problem is given, but if it is not given, how to find it? Possibilities are that the location can be at this location, here can be the location of origin, or it can be on this side. If let's say if we take the origin on this side, you are supposed to see the object from this side. When you are going to see from this side, this distance is more as compared to this one. The distance which is away from the origin is this much, but the distance which is near the origin is more. Due to this more distance, the smaller distance will not be visible because it will be on the back side. Hence, what will happen? The most of the part of this object will be hidden. And in isometric view, you can't show the hidden parts. The part which is hidden, it is not actually drawn. But if it is not drawn, so definitely you can't imagine what is the object is. Hence the origin point is very, very important. So if we take from here, most of the part will be on the back side. Hence this origin is not at all visible. But if we take this point as an origin, and as this is the origin, you are supposed to see from this direction like this. So in that case, this is the smaller distance and this is the longer distance. Smaller distance is near to the origin, longer distance is away from the origin. So definitely both the parts will be visible easily. Hence this point or this origin is visible. Once you have found the origin in the front view, let's move to the top view. Now in top view, again the possibility is here or here. Here it is not possible because you are not selecting this point as a origin, so this is cross. So on the other side will be the origin. Here you can see this, there is a circular part. So what you are supposed to do, extend the point, extend this from here as well as here. You will find this point and that point will be the origin. Now let's find the maximum height, length, width and height. We know very well that in front view, length and height is visible. In top view, length and width is visible. In side view, height and width is visible. As we know, here only front view and top view is given. Hence only these two will be used. Now let's start with the length. Length is visible in both top view and the front view. Here you can see the length, normally we take it in the horizontal manner. So here length is not given, but if we see in the top view, this distance is 75 mm. But object is still going forward. That is, this radius is given as 35 mm. Hence 75 plus 35. Hence the length will be 1110. Once you have found the length, let's move to the height. Now height is visible only in the front view. Of course it is visible in the side view, but the side view is not given over here. Hence let's see in the front view. So here you can see vertical wise the height is given as 100 mm. There is no diagram above this 100 mm or below this 100 mm. Hence the height is 100 mm. Now the remaining is the width. Now width is visible in the top view. Width is visible in the top view, so if we try to search it from here, only this middle portion distance is given as 20 mm. The remaining distance is not given over here. But if we see it on the other side, this circular portion, semicircular portion, its radius is given. If the radius is 35 mm, so obviously the diameter is 70 mm, hence the width is equal to the 70 mm. Once you have found the length, width and height, maximum length, width and height, what we are supposed to do? We are supposed to prepare a box of this length, width and height. To draw the isometric box, draw the horizontal line and mark the origin point. So let's say I am marking this point as a origin. From this origin point, we are supposed to mark the three axes along which we are going to mark the length, width and height. The three among the three axes, one will be the vertical one. So let me draw the vertical axis, and the remaining two will be at the 30-degree angle. So you can take the protractor or you can use the compass also to draw the 30-degree angle. I have already marked over here, so I'm directly drawing it. So these two axes are at 30-degree angle to the horizontal, and this one is perpendicular, or you can say vertical. Once you have drawn the axes, we are supposed to mark the length, width and height along it. The height is always marked along this vertical line. So height is 100 mm. So let me mark the height. So directly it is here. The next one is the length. Now here you can see from origin, you can take this one or this one, anyone. From the origin, the length is going towards the left side. Hence, as this is your origin, from this origin, mark the length towards the left side. The length is of 110. So here is my length. And obviously the other side is your width, that is 70 mm. So this is 70 mm. Now let's complete one of the face. Let's start with the front face, as this is having the length. So on this side will be the front face, this side will be the side face. From this end point, draw the height of 100 mm and simply join the top points of the heights, both the heights. Let's start with the side face. From here, from this point, draw the height of 10 mm and join the top of the heights. In this manner, you can complete front face as well as side face. Now the remaining is the top face, which will be here. You can see here length as well as height is already here. The third one remaining is the width. So draw a line passing through this point parallel to the width, and the length is and the distance is 70 mm. And from the here join both these points. So in this manner you can complete the three surfaces: front surface, side surface and the top surface. These are the three surfaces which will be visible to you. There will be three more surfaces which will be on the back side. To draw it from this top point, draw the height of 10 mm. I am drawing it with a pen so that it will be like on the back side. From this point 10 mm, join this other point and also here. So in this manner you can complete the box. Check whether all the lines are drawn or not. To check it, you can take any vertex or you can take all vertex one by one and check that from those vertices whether your length, width and height is passed or not. You can check it from here. This is width, here is length and this is height, right? If you take this one, width, length and height. If we take this one, height, width and length. So in this manner you can check all the points so that so as to ensure that what you have drawn is correct. Now let's move towards the object. Let's say we are starting from the front view. First find the closed diagram which do not have any visible line in between. So here you can see this whole L is the closed diagram without any visible line in between it. Ignore these hidden lines. So this L shape is the closed diagram. You can see there is no visible line in between this closed diagram. Draw this diagram in a front face, because it is as it is in a front view. So draw this closed diagram in a front face. Here you can see that this 100 mm is away from the origin. So your 100 mm is going to be away from the origin. So this is the origin, and this 100 mm is along the height. So along the height, away from the origin. So here will be the 100 mm. The next one is from here, it is going to the origin point. So from here it is going to the origin point. From origin there is a height again of 20 mm. So draw the height of 20 mm, and from the height it is going back to up to this point. This distance is given to you as 25 mm. So obviously this distance it will be 85, because the total length is 110 mm. So from here draw the line which will be parallel to the length, and the distance is 85 mm. Then you can find this height also. Total is 100 mm. This is 20 mm. This is also 20 mm given over here. So 100 minus 20 and 20. So this will be your 60 mm. So draw a line height wise of 60 mm. Then simply join this point and this point over here. That is this point and this one, so as to get that inclined line. Now once you have drawn this on the front surface, this is, let's say this protector is your front view. When you turn it by 90 degree and place it along this origin, line of origin, you will see that it is going to look like a line, simply line. So now here, if we place this front view over here, and if we check it in the top view, you can see that it is extended. Ignore these slots, these few slots. If these slots are not there, it is extended along the width. Here you can see there is a curve, but let's ignore it again for now. Instead of that, let's consider that it is straight one. So what we can do, we can extend this front view along the width. So let me extend it in our isometric view. Width is, it is extended along the width, that is by distance of 70 mm. From each of these points we are supposed to extend it along the width, that is by 70 mm. So here I am extending it. Then next point is this one. So you can take this and extend it like this. Similarly here, extend it along the width by distance of 70 mm. Then again here, and last one is here. You can also draw the line from this point, but that will be on the back side of this one, hence no need to draw. Now draw the line parallel to these lines from this one, or you can simply join it and you will get the same lines like this. From this diagram you can little bit imagine what type of object is there. Few differences also of course there, like this slot as well as this one as well as this curve. So we are supposed to start one by one, we are supposed to complete one by one. So let's start with this slot. Now in this slot you can see here that this angle given here is 60 degree. Now let me tell you one thing, that you can't draw by angle in a isometric view because it is already at 30 degree angle. So if we draw it by 60 degree angle, it will be something different. So instead of taking the angle, draw this diagram in a plane separately and find these distances. This distance is already given over here, that is 20 mm. This distance is also given, that is 12 mm, but this distance is not given. So find that distance by drawing this slot separately. So let me draw it over here. For that, what you are supposed to do, draw a line, draw a point which are 2 mm apart from each other, sorry, 20 mm apart from each other, and then from here take a height of 12 mm. So let me mark a point, take a height of 12 mm and draw a line passing through it, and then from these 2 points draw a angle of 60 degree. So this is your 20 mm. This height is also given as 12 mm. If we measure this is 60 degree. If we measure this distance, it is found that it is 35 mm. You can draw and check it. So this is 35 mm. Now when you want to draw it over here, first you can see it from the top view that it is exactly in the middle. So from the front view you can see that this diagram is a symmetric. This symmetric line is given over here, that this line is cutting the width. Okay, so find the midpoint of all this width and draw the symmetric line. So let me mark. The midpoint of each width, as the symmetric line is cutting the width along its midpoint, that's why I'm marking the midpoint along all the width, so I can draw the symmetric line easily. Now simply join the points so that you will get the symmetric line. This symmetric line is very important because along this symmetric line your geometry is divided in 2 parts. Now once you have drawn the symmetric line, let's move to the slot. Now this slot, to start this slot, you can see here there is a distance of 20 mm from the distance of 20 mm for this slot. So 10 mm on this side, 10 mm on this side, and that slot is away from the origin. So the slot is away from the origin, that is here. So mark 10 mm on both side of your symmetric line. So here is my 10 mm, here is the another 10 mm. Now once you have drawn the 10 mm distance, that is this distance is now 20 mm. This is 12 mm along this 12 mm is along the length, but this is not along the length. It is not a isometric line. Hence you can't mark your 12 mm on this one. You are supposed to mark on this isometric line and then shift it downward to the inclined line. So 12 mm, let me mark the 12 mm over here and then shift it downward, that is vertically on the inclined line. Once you have got it, draw the line passing through that point. I'm drawing here with the pen so you can see it like a projection. Now once you have drawn that, this 35 mm distance, it is again divided by that symmetric line. Hence 17.5 on this side, 17.5 on the other side. So let me mark 17.5 on both the sides, here as well as here, and then simply join the lines. Now once you have prepared this slot, there is nothing over here. You can see it from the top view, nothing is over here. So let me hide it. And from the front view you can see that the slot is going downward along the height. So if we start marking edges from all this point, let's say I am starting from here. So if I try to draw a line along the height, you will see that that line will be behind these faces, these surfaces. Similarly here it is again going behind the surface. Again from here it is going behind the surface. But if I draw it from over here, what will happen? Only the part of line will be visible because this part is vacant. So only the part of line will be visible over here. That is only up to this one. Below it will not be visible because it will be on the back side. So in this manner you can complete the slot. Now let's move to this hexagon. Again here the hexagon, the dimension of the hexagon is given like this. Length is 20 mm, this is also 20, this is 20, all are 20 mm. Find first the center point. This center point is same for this semicircle as well as this hexagon. So obviously this point is at the distance of 30 mm. So mark the point along the symmetric line at 35 mm. So here now we have located this point. This distance is 35 mm. So here is my center for the hexagon. Now again for the hexagon we can locate these 2 points, because for hexagon we know very well that the radius is also 20 mm if it is a regular hexagon. So this distance is 20 mm from this point. This distance is also 20 mm, but this distance is not known to us. So draw this again separately as we have drawn this one. Here I have drawn already by taking the distances. So I am measuring it directly over here. Now let me draw it again so you will understand how to draw that hexagon. You know here that hexagon is regular hexagon. Hence take the distance of 20 mm in your compass and draw a circle of radius 20 mm. Once you have drawn the circle of 20 mm, draw the vertical diagonal. So this is my vertical diagonal, that is this one. Now again keeping the same distance in the compass with this point as a center, mark a arc on both the side. Similarly the top point as a center, mark the arc on both the side. Now if we join all these points, we will get the regular hexagon. Now we don't know how much is this distance. So from here let me draw a horizontal line so that we can measure that distance. If we measure that distance, the distance is 18 mm. So now we have found that when you draw this similar hexagon over here, this distance is 18 mm, this distance is 20 mm from the center point. So let's mark that distances. So along the width it is 20 mm on both the side of the symmetric line. Hence here my 20 mm, here is the 20 mm, and along the length it is 18 mm and 18 mm. So along the length 18 mm here and 18 mm on the other side. Okay. Now from here what we are supposed to do, wherever you have marked this 18 mm, you have the line of a 20 mm passing through it, that is 10 mm on the either side of your symmetric line. So draw a line This line is again parallel to your width, so draw a line parallel to the width and 10 mm on both the side. So this is 10 mm and this is 10 mm, so it is 20 mm now. Similarly here also 10 mm on both the sides like this, and then simply join this point so that you will get the hexagon. Like this. Now once you have drawn the hexagon, you can see from the front view that that hexagon is a slot which is having the height of 10 mm, so it is going downward. So if I draw it, if I give the height of 10 mm, let me use the pen so it will be like a projection, and give the height of 10 mm from each point. So here is 10 mm, here is the another 10 mm, right? And from here you can see that if I draw a 10 mm height, what will happen? It is going behind this surface. Similarly, if I draw it from here, again it is going behind under that surface. From here also it is going under the surface. From here also it is going under the surface. So only these two heights will be visible. Now from this height, draw a line parallel to this one passing through this point. So draw a line parallel to this passing through this one. Similarly, draw a line parallel to this one passing through these two heights. Also draw a line parallel to this like this, and also dark the heights. So in this manner that hexagonal slot will be visible. Now the last remaining thing is this semicircular part. Now this semicircular part, it is going to be over here. We have considered initially that it is not semicircular, it is rectangular, but actually it is a semicircular and having the radius of 35 mm. Okay, so let's start from this origin point. Okay, we are not going to mark over here, let's consider that it is here. Okay, so it is along the origin line. So from this origin point, what we are supposed to do, mark the distance of 30 mm on along the width as well as along the length. So along the width it is here and along the length it is over here. Similarly, take the other corner. Here you can see the other corner will be over here. I haven't drawn over here, but you can see it is here. So 35 mm here, 35 mm on the other side. So you have got these 3 points over here. Now draw the actual perpendiculars from all these 3 points. So you can take the protector. Let's start from this point. So draw the actual perpendicular from this one. So this is my actual perpendicular. So this is the 90-degree line. Okay. Similarly, from here also draw the actual perpendicular like this. I'm extending this one so that I'll get the intersection point. Also similarly, from this third point, draw the actual perpendicular to this one. So let me explain it again. We have marked these 3 points. From this corner 35 mm along the length, you can see here 35 mm along the length, the starting point of the arc, the middle point 35 mm along the width. Let's consider the another corner point, that is this one. So again 35 mm along the width and 35 mm along the length. We have got these 3 points. From all these 3 points, draw the actual perpendicular to the lines on which these 3 points are there. So this point is on this line, so I have drawn the actual perpendicular. Similarly, this point is on this line, so draw the actual perpendicular. from that point. This point is on this line, so draw the actual perpendicular to that line. Now once you have got the actual perpendicular, the intersection points for this two, this is the intersection point, and for these two, this is the another intersection point. Now with those intersection point as a radius and distance up to the midpoint will be the with this point as a center and distance up to the midpoint as radius, draw a arc. So in this manner, draw a arc. Similarly, with this point as a center, you can see this is the intersection point over here. So this point as a center, again up to the midpoint as a radius. So like this as your radius, draw the arc. So I have made a little mistake. So in this manner, prepare the semicircle. Now this semicircle is going to be on the bottom side, because you can see here that there is nothing rectangular part over here. It is again a semicircular part. So to shift it downward, first shift the center point. Now that center point is shifted downward by 20 mm. You can see that along the height it is 20 mm. So let's take the center. Let's start with this one. So with this point as a center, if I draw along the height and shift it by 20 mm. So here is my point by 20 mm. I can shift this also, but if I try to shift it here, you will get here it is again along the height by 20 mm. So you have shifted both the centers by 20 mm height. Now keeping the same radiuses for this arc, the radius was up to the midpoint from here. So I am taking the radius up to the midpoint, but now the new center. Draw the arc in between the two bottom lines. Sorry, it is shifted a little bit. Now draw the line tangent to this curve along the height. So take the line parallel to the height and draw the line which will be tangential to the curve. So this is the tangent to this curve. So still there is a arc remaining, that is this arc is going to be over here. So you'll need this center again. So take this point as a center, but from here as your radius, whatever the radius for the previous arc, take that radius in your compass, but now the center will be the new one. Draw the arc and simply again dark the tangential line, so you will get the curved surface. Let me hide this rectangular surface so you can see the object clearly. So this is how your object will look like. You can cross check from your two views. So if you are going to see from this side, of course this L shape will be visible, and then again this slot will be visible like this, and this one also like this. From the top also surface you can see this top, this one with the slot, hexagon like here, and this curved surface. At the end give the overall dimensions only. So in this manner complete your diagram.